Okay. So as I told when explaining about our components and all, so when you say lightning components, it can be like our component framework, the web component framework, both. It can be anything. Okay. And this particular to this web component one, so it's a latest thing that came up with Salesforce, and for advanced UI design, but having lightning app, so you can design entire app using this lightning web component itself. Okay. And so for this, uh, we we are going to use like HTML. Okay. So right, the basic UI language that you can use for designing, app designing. So HTML. So that will be like you can we can say like that can be used with 20 to 30%, and JavaScript, which will act as a controller in the backend. Okay. And the other things, obviously, the Apex programming will be there, where you can define a controller and do the backend thing logic to post the UI updates. That's a small interaction about this. Okay. And in this model, they like it's a model about setting up your platform. Okay. Where you can do this Lightning Web component design. Okay. Install this Visual Studio code. So based on that, you can do like what are the things coming in into this. Okay, we are going to do with that. So they're setting reset to your password. Maybe you can try this, but this is already done here. Let me see what is here. Okay, setting up your password, username and password. Okay, the password then later. So for this, you set up your username and password handy, save it in some notepad, keep it for that, because you are going to use that for authentication. Okay. So I don't see here. I will get this username and password credits. So you guys also start if you already have the credentials, username and password of your trailhead. Okay, it's setting up Visual Studio Code only. Okay, instance. So it's more of setting up your arc. Can you guys go through this two topics, first one and this one, who have installed this VS Code? Can we do it now?
Hello, Venkat.
Yeah.
I have a doubt here. Can I ask?
Yeah.
Like, if I am creating a Lightning Web component from the Visual Studio Code, then will it show on the developer console?
No, it's not our. So you need to go to this. I mean, you can find the name, but not the entire body and all.
Okay, so
You
I
need
can't
editor.
customize. Yeah.
Yes, you can customize using your editor.
Yes, but I want to customize with the developer console editor. So is it
Okay.
possible?
You cannot because the component itself it will not be visible on that.
Okay.
Yes. Because we already did many things. Yes. Okay. Okay. So let me tell you what are the things here. So we already did many things here. Okay. So Rahul, can you scroll up? Go to the top.
Yes.
Yeah. So you can see here, right? The first folder thing, kind of copy symbol, but it's a folder. Okay. So here, this is the place where you will store your project. Okay. Where you will set up your project. So here Rahul set up a project called like Trailhead. Okay. So in so the folder you can choose where to store the components and everything local. Local means your local computer. Okay. So when you create that, you need to give the place where you need to store after creating this project. So the things you will get directly is this. You can see dot sf dash sfdx vs code config force app main default. So what are the things are here? So you can see sfdx is a command that we use most often here, and basically the objects are your classes, components, page layout, even custom fields under that object. So all related components will be stored under force app main default. Okay. You will also have option here. For example, under force app main default, you can see applications. That means apps. Okay. Aura component classes. So append classes and flexi pages means lightning pages, layout, normal page layouts. Okay. Similar to that, you will get all process builders as flows, and also email templates. Like what are the things that we have in Salesforce, and that thing you can see under this, like kind of approval process. Okay. Even you have something and the flows that also you will get here only. So you need to identify your component, and if you double click on that, so it will open in the right side. You can see a window, right? Okay, here it will open. So you will do your changes here, and if you click on Controls S, it will be saved to your local computer. That means your local folder where you have done this. So if you come down, there are other things also. So there are four, right? Some notifications are showing as four. So that is actually your extension thing. Okay. And if you, I mean, let me come from the beginning. So after folder, you can see a search symbol here. Okay. You want to search something on your project, the local project, whatever you have. So you can give your uh, like such things. Okay. It will identify the components and it will return. Below that, you have kind of source control. Okay. This source console is a thing we use mainly when you are working on a projects, okay, where you will do the continuous deployments. Okay. So on server, you will have one repository maintained, and the same repository you need to base in our local. So when you are working continuously on the, so you are the not only person, right? There will be method and other developers also working on. So to make it in sync, so you need to be updated. Okay. From your local, you will do pull request. Okay. That means from the server to your local, you do a pull request. So whatever the components are in the server, they have updated, it will be updated into your local. Then you need to start working on. So without doing a pull request, okay, if you work on your local, so there is a possibility that it will give a merge conflict. For example, let's say there is a class. Okay, let's say test class. Sorry, class with the name ABC. Okay, in the ABC class, in the server there is a file. In your local there is a file. Okay, both are identical. So Raju is doing some changes on the same class, and Rahul also doing some changes on the same class. Okay, Rahul pushed the changes into server. Okay, without knowing that, Raju also doing the changes after that. Okay, so Rahul modified the same line, and Raju also modified the same line. Okay, there is a possibility. Okay, and maybe some extra lines they have added. So when you are trying to push the changes into the server, it will throw you an error saying the file which you modified is having some conflicts. Conflict in the sense, so it cannot merge. Okay, the system does not know which one to keep. Okay, So because, for example, let's say Rahul modified x equal to 9, Raju modified x equal to 10, okay, in their respective classes. So how the system will deal with that? Okay, so that is the reason you always need to ensure your local is uh, always up to date with the server. So for that, you need to keep doing your from your local repository. You need to pull request and then maintain the same. Those two things in sync, then there will be no problem. Okay. If you come down, there is a cloud icon. Most of things. Yes, icon.
Yeah, sorry. So when you say that you have to pull, you are talking about the retrieve thing, right? Here, you have
Yeah.
to. Okay.
Pull means from extend from outside you are pulling into your local. Push means from your local to the server. So the terminology might be different when you are working on the Git. It is different when you are working on the VS. It is different. So not the entire meaning is same. Okay. Okay. Rahul, if you come down to the cloud icon, there is a cloud icon, right? So this is something you can connect your Visual Studio Code to uh, Arc, Salesforce Arc, where you actually work. Okay. So click on that. When you click on that, so it will show you. See here, you can see at the bottom, Rahul is already connected to the Arc Trailhead project. Okay. So the components which you see here, all these are coming from the this Salesforce Arc Trailhead project Arc. Okay. So if you modify, if you click on some component here and modify your changes, and if you do, Rahul, can you click on some component? Just open any class. Yeah, yeah, double click on it.
So
Or you can just open in the editor.
actually not working.
No, no, open it, open it.
Means how can I open? Here
With
I'm double
how you
clicking
have
it.
opened your selector HTML and all without knowing that.
Yeah, actually they are working properly. If I will show,
Because every time you are going into that list and searching for it and opening.
yeah, actually in the default screen I am seeing this, and whenever I need
Yeah.
to do, I
So
will.
at present, you have very less number of components. So
Yes,
it might be easy that you can go and pick it. So what if there are a lot of components? To control P.
then I can search.
Yeah. Search that class, whatever the class is there.
Me- some-
Yeah, open anything, any component is fine. For example.
Yes,
Yeah. Okay. So this is the component. Okay. One component we have in the arc also it is there. So he had done his modifications, the code changes he had done. Okay. After that, when you click on Rahul, you right click. So here you can see the at bottom. Okay. Delete this from the project and arc. That means this entire component. Okay, if you select this option, that it will delete your component. So the first web component, something you mentioned, right? The component will get deleted from your local and from your Salesforce org as well. Okay. Second option, deploy this source to org, means this component you made some changes, right? So if you select this option from here, it will be updated into your Salesforce org. So without opening your Salesforce org, you can do your changes here only. Okay. So third one, diff file against your org. So what are the modifications he had done and the file which is there in your org. So it both will be compared. So it will be side by side. They'll compare and it will show you that what changes are there. Okay. Preview component locally. So the component will just like kind of preview, right? So we may not use that mostly. And the next one, retrieve the source from arc. That means this component will be fetched. Fetched in sense it will be retrieved from arc to here. Okay. So
Yeah.
these are the main things that we'll use. Okay. So Srikanth, this is the thing what I was trying to explain yesterday. Okay. So here this editor is a mediator. Okay. So this editor, so in this editor, it will act as a mediator. So mediator for what? So mediator for your org, Salesforce org, and to your server. So maybe server can be a repository also. Okay. So from here, from org to here, you can fetch using retrieve option, retrieve from source org, or in vice versa also there. From here, you can deploy the source to org using that function. So from here to your like server or your repository, how we will do means using the source control. When you click on source control, it will give option to push or pull both. It will be to and fro. Push means it will you are pushing from your editor to the server. When you do the pull, it is coming from server to your editor. So that is the thing, guys. So these are not high level things what we mainly use in Visual Studio. Okay, and this same thing is there in your Trailhead arc now. So after setting up your Trailhead arc, so you need to authenticate to your respective Salesforce Trailhead arc by giving username and password. So it will create a one connection between your Visual Studio Code to your arc. Then you will get a thing like in Rahul's screen you have seen, right? That Trailhead one, Trailhead project is similar to that. The connection will happen and it will be shown on the Visual Studio Code.
Venkat, like you can see here in the left side panel, we have all the retrieve thing. There will be something whenever we install this application newly, there will be package.xml. What is that use?
Package.xml is for your entire components. For example, so see, there are so in two ways you can do. For example, for picking up this component, whatever you open, my first web component. Okay. So if we want to retrieve it from the org, you can do right click and fetch it. Retrieve from org, you can use that option. What if there are 10, 10 components are there, like 100 components are there? So you cannot go on each and every component, do the right click and retrieve it, right? So for that, simple thing is create your package.xml, put what are the components you require there, and with the proper sections. Okay, I mean the tags. What type of component is whether you are fetching Apex class or Apex trigger or FlexiPay something. So depends on that. You segregate your all components and do one time fetch the VS Code. In the third section, they're asking you to create a one Lightning Web component. Just follow the instructions. It will be done.